This is the Mammotion Luba AWD 5000 robot lawnmower, and in this video I'm going to test it out. I'm going to unbox it, I'm going to set it up, I'm going to install it, I'm going to go through all its features, and you know what? It's amazing. Welcome to Sunday morning. Today's the day. In here is something I've been waiting for a long time, the Luba AWD 5000 robot lawnmower. So this video is going to, well, take you on a journey because I haven't done one of these before. I haven't even opened the box. I don't know what's in it, so we're going to look at that, obviously, see how it's easy we can set it up, the cutting strength, the battery life, the durability, the maintenance, the smart integration, smart features. Can I even get it into Home Assistant? I don't know yet. That's kind of what I really wanted to do, and many other things that we'll get to. But first, let's just open this thing. So this weighs a ton, by the way. This is like 35 kilos of box. So accessory kit C, accessory kit B, very neatly packaged. Everything has its place. This is the RTK antenna, I believe, so we'll get to that too, what that does. Oh, that's the front bumper for the mower, and here are some poles. I believe they're for the RTK antenna as well, so that's it with this. And don't know what that is. Some little plugs of some sort. I don't know. Oh, accessory kit A, which we're missing. So we have ABC. And there he is. I have come up with a name as well, because I like naming devices, gives them a bit of character, but we'll get to that later. Jeepers. It is, I don't know if it comes across on camera, but this is large. It's the size of like a push lawnmower, or a bit bigger even. It's heavy. Come on. That's the actual mower. The two blades on it. All right, we'll get to more on that. Okay, that's the charging pad. Cool. All right, let's just line up what we've got. But that's actually not all. What Mammotion, which is the company behind this, also sent was this. Yep, it's another box. This is a little garage for the mower itself, so it has a little house to live in. Obviously for protection, especially in Australia here, sun protection is really critical because UV ruins everything in this country. Well, it doesn't ruin everything. Sunshine's nice, but electronics, yeah. So this is the L-shaped mounting rod. Let's see what that is. It has a Formula car sticker. We'll get to that. Whoa! Here is the L-shaped mounting rod. Not entirely sure what that does yet, but there it is. Oh, these are replacement blades. Very nice. Obviously you're going to go through some blades, especially here we have lots of sticks and stuff. Some screws and gubbins and things, whatever that is. This is the drill dimension. This is the reference station wall installation kit instruction manual. So that is if you want to put this RTK sensor, which we'll get to, it's related to GPS, if you want to put that on the wall. And then finally, we have the Luba garage. This is essentially a roof that goes over the mower like this and protects it again more from the elements, which is very needed in Australia, probably many other places too. You can have a hat on, there we go. So that's what we get. Holy moly. So of course we have the mower itself, which is enormous. It's really heavy. And I think we're going to have to probably figure out, we know where to install it. As you can see, the lawn behind me, we haven't mowed it for a while in anticipation of this. I almost forgot, we should probably just have a look at these accessory kits as well, but it's really difficult to do that, so I need help. So I brought my helper. Hi. Okay. Hi. So first we're going to have a look at accessory kit A. Just open it, because I think some of this might be pretty important to what we're trying to do. I don't even know what that is. They're like fasteners, but they're not metal. Or are they? They're plastic? It also has a massive power supply, so that's what's going to charge the the Luba 5000, of course. Then we have, is that Nesta?
Yeah.
So that's another power supply. I think this might be for that antenna on there. And we have more cabling. So that cable is for this. So there's, this is one piece. I'm guessing there's maybe 10 meters of it or something, cable for that to extend it. And we have blades, more blades. Very nice. And what's this? Oh, that's the extension for the other one. So there's an extension for each power supply. Okay. It is.
Bolt with a thingy on top?
It's a bolt with a thingy on top. I'm sure we'll figure that out. So that's what those are in the accessories. All important, but not terribly exciting, apart from that. All right, so first step obviously is installation. Now we've got everything out. Hello, Boots. That's the manager. And first step, actually, it doesn't seem too bad. So I'm just going to talk you through it, and then we'll do a quick montage of installation, and then we'll try and set it up or use it. So you just got to put this into the ground. So that's what those pegs are for up there. You put them into the ground. That's why they're sort of plasticky. They go into the grass, or you can use actual pegs. Does both. You then use this tri-fork thing with the pole thing here. This pole here goes on top of that, which goes in here. And then that antenna goes on top, so you can mount it here. We're going to try that first, because we may have to move this antenna to get the right signal for the RTK, but I'll explain what the RTK is a little bit later. Then you put that in there, you connect it all up through here, so there's the charging station, you connect that to power. You then put the antenna in here, you connect that with this power point here, and that extension if we need it. And that's pretty much it. That's it. That's all there is. And then it charges there, and I guess we turn it on and try and adopt it into it. What do you reckon, Boots? Should we try that? Yeah? Yeah, Boots agrees. So that's the plan. Anyway, here's the montage. Let's just look at the mower in more detail, and I'll show you all the various features and buttons of it. So we'll just bring it over here. Come on, you're lovely. Because this mower, of course, one of the main selling point is that it's perimeter wire free. So traditionally you'd have to dig a wire into your lawn, then the mower would know that's where the edge is. You don't have to do that anymore. So this is all purely based on GPS, which makes it so much simpler as a consumer to set up, a lot less digging. But the mower itself has a whole bunch of different things on it, obviously, so from front to back. So this is the front bumper. So this, if you bump into something, it'll actually stop, so that's really handy. It also has two side bumpers either side here. So again, similarly, if you bump something from the side, it'll stop as well. It has like race car suspension. It has actual springs here for suspension, which is kind of cool. Oh, hi Boots. And then up here we have the sensors. So they're like ultrasonic or something, but they detect obstacles. So there's 3 different levels of obstacle detection. You can turn it off, which means it just uses the bumpers. That's the level 1, where it uses these for forward detection, and level 2 it also uses the side detection for obstacles as well. So depending on how much you how safe you want to be for obstacle detection, I guess. It has a couple of little protection things on the sides here. In general, this is quite rugged. That you can see the wheels here have wheels on them to turn both ways. And that means that it has really good grip. It does 0 turn as well, so it likes to turn on the spot, which is important because it might get into tight spots. And of course it's all-wheel drive, so all wheels turn. Obviously that's how you do a 0 turn as well. On the top here we have a start button, so that's starting it. You're turning it on and off, a bit long hold. There's a home button, so you can tell it by pressing the button to go back to here to its home. Boots having an opinion on that. There's a mow button, so you can also just mow on it. You can press it to mow, and then of course there's an on and off rather. So the start here is to start it, so you press home, start, and go back. The on and off is here, and then of course there's the big candy stop button, because safety, right? So if something really goes wrong, you just press that really quick and it stops. So all in all, it's quite rugged. I mean, on the back here as well, there is actually a slot for like a SIM card or something, as well as a USB-C. So I'm not sure, at some point we might get a 4G, 5G connected version as well. Yeah, and that's it. So, all right, onwards. All right, so that's now installed. Actually really good quality. I'm quite impressed. All the plugs and everything seems really well done, well made. I also noticed that from the manual there were a few changes in the hardware, so I think it's been improved over time since, well, the manual is probably a V1 where this might be a V2 or V3. So they're definitely improving the design over time as well. So up here we have the RTK antenna or extender, and that is for, as far as I understand, the GPS being more precise, so it knows where it is in more detail, and that's why there's an antenna at the bottom here as well. And right now I think this is going to work for where we are, like this lawn area here around me that you see behind me. It should be able to see that, I think. If not, I'll reassess and we might have to put it up on the side of the house, which is what that other bracket was for, and the other power supply as well is if you need to put it somewhere else. So this was pretty simple to install. If I didn't have to record it, it would have taken 15-20 minutes, but I did. But next step is the app, so we're going to try and connect it to the app. I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, we'll see how we go. So on the phone here, I'm going to install the Mammotion app, which you need, obviously, and that just takes a second. All right, open it up, and I'm assuming we're going to have to create an account of some sort, of course. Welcome. Sign up. We're going to sign up. Seriously, Mammotion, password needs to be between 8 and 16 digits. That's don't do that. Just let me, anyway. Many reasons why that's bad. Okay. So now we have an account, I think. Tips. Mammotion requires you to allow access to nearby devices for the Bluetooth features to work. Well, it's not really a tip, it's more of a, yeah, we need that. So yes, we're going to allow Bluetooth. And then media file access for the log. Yep, sure, we allow media. No, we just allow all photos. That's fine for now. I trust Mammotion, right? And we can send notifications. That's fine. Okay, so now we're at here, my device. User manuals, instruction videos can be viewed on my account page. Okay, cool. So that's it. I'm at the start, I guess. So I'm going to add Luba there. And I did mention earlier that I came up with a name. Coming up. Alright, so we're going to add a Luba. Welcome to the Luba mower. Please follow me to set up Luba. Okay, we're going to follow you. Front bumper. Insert the front bumper. Yes, we did that already. Okay. Security key. Please remove the security key from the box and insert into the Luba rear keyhole. Ah, hadn't done that. Alright. So these are the keys, these little orange ones. So we're going to insert one of those into the back of it, I guess. Aha! Yep, that fits right in the back here. So that's the security key inserted. Cool. It's making noise. Hello? Okay. Oh, red light. Red light. It's a red light blinking, flashing. Both sides. Maybe that means charging? Anyway, we have insert security key. Install screws, uncheck, yeah, and just install all that. RTK reference station. Install the RTK reference station according to the instructions. Make sure there are no buildings or trees above. There isn't. Just. Okay. That would have been handy to know, but anyway, we can always adjust this. That's fine. It's not difficult to move. Okay, method 1. Manually move Luba to the charging station. Well, we've done that. With the rear of the Luba facing the charging station and the charging port of the Luba properly set to align with pins, blah, blah, blah. We'll automatically start when it's powered on. Okay? Method 2, put or drive Luba about 1.5 meters in front of the charging station. Then press the power button. Okay, well we'd already put it there, so I guess we chose option 1, method 1. Please turn on your phone's Bluetooth. Yep, that is on. So now we're going to connect to Luba. Hopefully. Connecting, please wait. Alright, connect Luba to nearby Wi-Fi. Sure. Finished. Luba added. Welcome to use Mammotion Luba. Upgrade firmware. There's always a firmware. Alright, 99. Come on, 99. Please? Please, 99? Hey, upgrade successful. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're good with the firmware upgrade. First order of business is to change the name. Luba, how do I do that? I really want to change the name. At least I can see now that it's ready. Auto recharge test. I'm not quite ready for that yet. I really want to change the name. Why can't I change the name? Okay, it doesn't seem that you can change the name on here. At least I can't figure out right now. But I present to you Mowzart. I know. So that's Mowzart. Alright, so I guess enter map is the first part of it. Let's just press on that button. So it gives me this, well I have to move it that way, but you're going to see a smaller version here, I apologize, but it's in landscape mode. There's an auto recharge test. Let's press that. Yep, it moves. I figured it would. Hello. Please click the something create button below to create the first task area. Okay, now we're just going to make him go back. Come on, Mowzart. Okay, so he's trying to align his buttocks with the charging port, I assume. So I think the first thing we're going to try is we're going to enter the map here and we're going to create an area for it to mow. I'm not sure exactly, but I will just follow. Please leave the charging station before starting to create a modifier. Okay. Oh, there's joysticks here on the screen as well. There's little itty bitty things. Luba's charging to prevent accident contact. Please manually. Okay, so we'll just leave the dock automatically. Okay, so now I should be able to create a task. So it goes about 1.5 meters out. Seems decent. So if you install one, make sure there's that much space in front of where you put it, because I wasn't actually aware. There's a little joystick, so I can actually move him now. Look at that. Here you go, Mowzart. So I'm going to click create. Grass height less than 10 centimeters. Before you start mowing, make sure the grass of your lawn is no higher than 10 centimeters. Yeah, ish. I'm going to ignore that. Sorry, Mammotion. Phone power. Ensure your phone is fully charged. Yeah, good enough. Clear items on the lawn. It's pictures of a dog. Make sure you clear your dog away. The dog might move. There's a few sticks, but again, if there's a big stick, I'll move it, or I think we'll be fine. It says move toys, wires, branches, sticks, etc. So the dog is etc. Within the highlighted line is the area where the Luba works. Okay, so we do a highlighted area. Avoid hitting walls or fences on the boundaries during planning to prevent collision during. Yeah, that makes sense. So now I get to train it. I have to train it where to go. All right, let me show you how you map an area, or task as it's called. So you can see here on my phone, I've now got it the right way around so you can see it properly. I've already done quite a few areas, so the one in front of me, behind you, is the large area that you see here where we are just at the edge of. And then there are, we moved them. See, we got a little joystick. Move them back. Come on, there we go. And then there's a larger area which is near the carport, and then there's a small area which is in front of the house. So I'll show you how you set all that up now that I have an idea of it and I've had a little go. So we're going to use Luba and we're going to map just this area just here under the trees, and hopefully we'll retain signal. So I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go to create modify, and I'm going to add a task area. And yes, within the highlighted line is the area where the Luba works. That is correct. So I'm now here, so it zooms in on the Luba. I'm just going to turn it around. We're going to go down the driveway and I'll come back up as well. And you can see how, there we go, a bit too much. There we go. And you can see the line that it creates. So here we go. And this happens sometimes. So now the lube is locked because it's lost the signal for the antenna up there. So hopefully it'll come back and it'll continue. That's the tricky bit. Sometimes it loses it and it comes back. Otherwise we have to click modify. So let's do that. I'm going to click modify. That means I have to go back a little bit here until it gets signal back. There we go. So now we have position again. So it's gone all the way back there. So I hit the accept mark, check mark, and you can see now the line I've reversed essentially has disappeared. So let's try again. So there's one trick that I found you can do is you can go a bit faster. So that you can actually control the speed limit for the Luba when it's in this manual mode. So we're going to go faster speed because that might get us through the rut of the lost position. Little trick I figured out. There we go, and here he comes. Make sure we keep on the edge here. Oh, lost the signal again. Bugger. So again, yeah, the signal comes back, which is good. So we're gonna go, oh. And that's one of the little tricks here. Okay, so we're just gonna go back over to the starting point. When we're here, there we go. So now I can then click save, which is the green tick, and you can see we've mapped 97.6 square meters. So I can save that. Now they overlap a little bit. The new boundary is divided into multiple. Oh, so then it just lost it. Well, that was annoying. There we go. Okay, let's save that one. Okay. So now we have a task area, so we're going to go continue planning. You can see I now have a new green area here. Why do I want to continue planning rather than mow it? I need to get rid of those trees. Well, not get rid of them, but I need to make sure that it doesn't mow into the trees. Now, it would be all right, probably, because it has sensors, but it takes a lot longer. If I just tell it where not to go, it's a lot more efficient. So let's do that. So I press on that area, right there. I can then click modify. You can see I can add a no-go zone, I can add a channel, or I can modify the boundary. So we want to add a no-go zone, but I want to get to where I need to go first before I do that. So right here around the tree, I'm going to put the speed down a bit, like that, because it gets a bit trickier around here. I want to create modify, I want to add a no-go zone. Please set flower pools, flower beds, etc., as no-go zones. Yes, exactly. So we're going to go around the tree here. I'm not entirely sure if where the Luba goes or where it's going to mow, or it's going to mow outside of that. I haven't quite figured that out, but I think it's roughly in the middle or something. There we go. So now I have a no-go zone. So I save that, and I can continue planning because you can see here now there's a yellow dot down there on the no-go zone. I want to do the other tree as well, right? So we just do another one. So I go down there. So that's how simple it is. It really is that simple. And I now have another task / lawn or area with 2 no-go zones in it, like you can see, and it's ready to go. You can actually click mow now. Now there's one last thing, and that is, we know as humans that this is a lawn and there's no boundary, but Luba or Mowzart doesn't know that. So we have to tell it how to get to the lawn, and that's called a channel. It's like a safe passage. I'm not going to mow there, but I can go that way to connect the dots. And that you can see it up here, it's those white lines, little paths. So we're going to create one. Sorry, hello. We're going to create one. So we got to go back into the area here. And then we have to choose where to put it. We can probably put it right here, sort of in the middle, like that. And then we can modify again, and we add a channel. Yep, that's to connect different task areas, that's correct. So then all you do is just drive across. That's it. Done. So now Luba knows that it can go there to connect those 2 task areas. You might be questioning what happens to the bit in between. Unless you can get the task areas really close together, it might not get mowed. But you know what? I can live with that. I can mow that little bit. If Luba does the other 3,000, 4,000 square meters of lawn, right? So that's all there is to task planning / lawn planning. It's really quite straightforward, but you do need to have pretty good signal, which is why I'm going to talk about RTK next. So this is probably a good time to talk about RTK and how that works with this system. You can probably tell that I've now got this antenna here in front of the house, the RTK antenna. The RTK is real-time kinematic positioning. And the idea is that GPS satellites in general are not super accurate. So this antenna picks up the GPS signal, and it creates a more, it sort of adjusts the signal or compensates for it so that it becomes like centimeter precision for the mower, because it can, it connects to it. Now this has to be in full clear view of the sky, and it sort of is here-ish, but not really. So I think we have to adjust it. Now, the mower doesn't need line of sight to it necessarily, but this does need to have a good vision of the sky in order to make the signal as good as possible. And hopefully that will also allow me to go more underneath trees and stuff, which I've had quite a bit of trouble with because we have so many trees in the garden here. So we're going to take this antenna, we're going to put it on this sort of mount, hockey stick mount, and I'm going to put that just up on the pitch of the roof here to try and get a better signal, and then hopefully that will allow us to use the mower more efficiently. So it's not bad, but I'd like it to be more coverage than what it is currently. So that's next. We're going to take that, we're going to put it up there. One of the important factors of a robot lawnmower is, of course, how well it mows. So let's talk a little bit about cutting. I've tested it on various lengths of grass, and it does just fine. Now there are various settings that I mentioned before of obstacle avoidance. If you set it at level 0 and you essentially turn off the sensors, it will just go based on the bumpers, and that means it will go through tall grass, and it does quite well. Now, the key to this kind of mower is obviously that you're not spending time on it. So the more time that it can mow, the better it gets, right? So it might not get it perfect the first time, especially with tall grass, but the second or the third or the fourth time it will. And it doesn't matter because you're not mowing. So it does remarkably well in all sorts of grass. We have weeds, we have tall grass, we have buffalo grass, which is the stick grass, we have fine grass, and it seems to handle all of it quite well. Yes, it may need more than one go at a time, but that's okay. Just to talk a bit about the cutting deck here, you can see it underneath here. It has, so I have, on purpose, haven't cleaned this for a couple of days, but we'll get to maintenance later. But the cutting is these two rotors here, and the Eve has 4 blades on it. These blades are supposed to be freely turning. That's how it works, so they just spin. These don't right now, so what does happen is that grass does get caught in them. So you do need to clean, but we'll talk a little bit about maintenance later. But that's how it works, and as normally you get extra blades in it, so just make sure the blades are sharp and the grass will be cut really neatly. That's about it there is to say about the grass cutting. And I did promise that we were going to upgrade Mowzart a bit, so here they are. That is the Mammotion Formula Car sticker pack. So let's put that on Mowzart, and I'm sure it'll make him go faster. If you like these videos and this kind of technology, please consider subscribing, like the video. I know, please subscribe. Of course, battery life is pretty important because depending on how large your lawn is, you don't want it to constantly go back and charging, and you won't have enough time anyway to mow it then. There are 3 models of the Luba. There's the 1000, the 3000 and the 5000, and that relates to the number of square meters that it'll theoretically cover. So I have the biggest. The Luba 5000 is what Mammotion kindly sent to me. I also have a very large lawn in case you hadn't noticed, so that kind of makes sense. Now, I've used this for about a week now, and I've got, on average, it'll do about 4 hours of mowing on a full charge, and I think that's pretty good. The largest lawn I have takes just over 8 hours, so it did it in almost 2 charges, which is not bad. And then, of course, when it runs out of charge mid-task, it'll just go back to the little house, charge up, and then continue. Now, it'll always charge up to 80 or 100%, I think it is. So if you only have 5% left, which I did, it doesn't charge enough to do the 5%, it charges all the way up. But that's okay. It takes about 2 hours from 0% to 100, roughly about 2 hours to charge, which is really good. That's like your phone or something like that, so it charges relatively fast. And of course the best bit is that, well, you don't have to manage it. It charges itself and it just goes. Yeah, so the battery life I think is pretty good. I'm not sure about the other 2 models. Obviously they have a smaller battery for less coverage, but yeah, I can't really complain with today's technology. So one of the other key things that I think about living in Australia is weather. So how does this perform in weather? Well, there's a setting in the app that allows you to not mow on rainy days. I don't know how that exactly works because there is a rain sensor on it, on the Luba itself, and it was raining one day and it didn't go back. So maybe it's based on forecast, or maybe it just wasn't raining enough because it was sort of a short shower. But it did have rain on it. Now, having said that, it is IP rated, I can't remember the rating, 65, something like that. So it is fully weatherproof. I'm keen to see, more than rain, how does it do with sun? Because it's about to be summer here, it's gonna get really hot. So am I supposed to then mow not in the sun? Can it withstand those temperatures in the sun, which might be 45, 50 degrees at prolonged periods of time? I'm not sure yet. I haven't had it long enough. Obviously, it hasn't been hot enough. But yeah, it should be weatherproof. It should be rated to work in all kinds of weather, but I wouldn't mow in the rain anyway, because wet grass doesn't mow very well. Again, another reason I would like home assistant integration, because I get more accurate readings on what the weather / ground is like. But yeah, it is weatherproof and it is rated, but time will tell how well it withstands the elements in this climate, let alone in somewhere else where I don't live. So yes, but unsure, I guess, is the verdict on that one. If you like what you see and you want to try out your own Mowzart, then consider using the link in the description, because that's an affiliate link, and if you use that, then you support the channel at the same time and we all win. And on top, I think right now there's even a promotion, so if you sign up for the newsletter, you get a bit of discount as well. So use the link in the description, please. Thank you. So of course, now that you're not mowing, a big part of your responsibility as the owner of a Luba or Mowzart is to clean it. Maintenance is critical, in my opinion. That's with any tool. If you had a normal lawnmower, you would also maintain that. You got to do that with this as well. The good thing, of course, is it's electric, so there's very few moving parts. But in here, you got to make sure that these blades are loose, so they got to spin. And if there's some that aren't, like this one here, you just got to make sure that you loosen up these blades, this thing here, like this. And just remove any crap that's under it, so that it spins freely. And this will happen quite a lot. You're going to be doing this a lot. Obviously check the blades. If they're blunt, swap them out with new ones, just like you would with any other lawnmower. There's another one here. There we go. They're now all spinning freely, and then of course make sure you clean the deck. I just use like a plastic scraper of some sort, and this is about 4 days worth of use. Not in wet weather, obviously, we don't use it in the wet, but just get rid of crap. And this is the only maintenance that you have to do, to be honest. There's not really anything else to clean or to fiddle with. As you may have noticed in the video, I've wiped wiped Mowzart down about 4 times just for the camera, but it does get real dirty real quickly. That's just part of the core. But once you've done this, that's it. You're pretty good to go. And then if you really want to, you can hose this down as well, I believe. There's a warning up here saying do not pressure wash it, so definitely no pressure. But you should be able to hose this down and also blow it with compressed air if you have that, and just blow it out once in a while. I'm not going to do that every time I clean it, but it's a good thing to do just to get rid of anything that sort of hides in the crevices and everything. But do this regularly, as well as the blades, and you'll be in fine form. All right. You know that noise on Sunday morning when you wake up? Yeah, it's the neighbor's lawnmower, isn't it? Now the noise of the Luba is really very quiet. First of all, it doesn't have a petrol engine, so it's just electric, so there's no noise from the motors as such. There's a little bit. And all you hear is just the blades like now. And if it's just cutting standard grass, you will not hear it inside at all. I'm a little bit close to it now, so you can probably hear it through the microphone. But really, there's hardly any noise at all. I think they say that it's rated to like between 45 and 55 decibel. And if you saw my video on my curtain openers, bit of a stretch, but you know that about 25 decibel is almost like breathing. So 45 on a decibel range, oh, that was a rock. That doesn't count. But yeah, you will not be bothered by it. You really won't hear it inside. It is really quite quiet, if you can see that. All right, onwards. And then of course safety features, because most of us have something around that doesn't want to get in contact with a lawnmower. It might be a child, might be a pet, might be grandma, who knows? But it really is quite safe. If you lift it, it'll switch off. If it sees any obstacles, it'll avoid them, either by bumping into them or with the sensors. If there is anything stuck in any of the rotors, they'll stop so that it doesn't catch on fire or overheat or anything. It really is quite safe. And of course, there is that big red button on it. So if it comes over here and I go, oh, danger, catastrophe, I just do that, stop immediately. And it won't start again until I go and press, I think it's mowing and start, and then it starts again. So yeah, it's really difficult to get in trouble with it. Of course you can cut yourself on the blades when you're changing them, but don't do that. Wear gloves or whatever. Yeah, safety, I think it's much safer than any lawnmower that isn't a robot, I guess. Yeah. And now we're coming to the end. I am quite impressed with this lawnmower. Apart from a few issues that were my fault with the antenna and getting the areas mapped, it is really good. It's very precise. Yes, it can't do under heavy tree cover. You know what? I'm okay with that, because it will automate and mow like 3,000 square meters of my lawns without a problem, and I only have to do a little bit, so it'll save me a ton of time. Are there things I'd like to see improved? Of course, especially in the app. I'd like to be able to see stats, like how long did it take to mow a certain number of square meters, like how long per 100 square meters, or stats over time, how much battery have I used, things like that I'd love to see. I would love to be able to rename the mower, because the app is set up for multiple mowers, so you kind of have to, because otherwise they're all going to be Luba 478TG whatever, and you won't know which is which. So renaming lawn areas, that would be great. I'd love to be able to do that. But those are all software things that can be done, and I'm sure that's going to come along the way, as well as the signal is going to get better. Like, you know, the treatment of the RTK and GPS signal is going to be more precise. It's going to be better coverage in more areas. It's all early days. Yeah, I can't really fault it, other, you know, at all. Am I hoping for home automation integration? Of course. Like, please give us an API so we can put it into Home Assistant and do many more automations. But that's, again, all to come. Overall, if you like this video, please consider subscribing, or leave a comment. Have you got one? What have you experienced? I've only had it a week, so, you know, there's only so much I can test in a week, and durability is obviously a big one for me, so we'll see how that goes. But let me know in the comments. Any quirks, anything I should know, share it with all of us. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.